This is Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Demetrius Robbins.
an incarcerated individual at the Folsom State Prison, Folsom, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. To refuse, thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Yeah. When I met the OVGs, they first was Gray Rags, the E-Dubs, it was crazy. Bozak crew, Yo Mama Presents, like people were doing the most. People don't realize these party crews was big in the 80s, bro. Like there was a lot of things happening. And like you never knew. We're growing up in the valley. I don't know where you grew up at in that time, but the Lee's Park was jumping real. Like it used to be. Like I used to wish that people could bring it back. Like that's how fun it was. When I got to high school, El Camino, like people still remembered, and teachers remembered, like my sister's friends and the growing up, because, like as they got older, the teachers knew about those parties because that's where they used to throw those parties at. They used to rent the gymnasiums out at the schools, and that's what they used to do. So it was like a house party, but at the school, and schools used to do it. So it was like you had all this like house party type stuff, but it was all thrown at schools, and that's what gave me the idea to throw my first biggest party ever in high school. Like I just blew it up. Like we had the biggest party in high school, bro. Like everybody that was in the San Fernando Valley, that anywhere from the 118 to the 101 to the Valley Circle Boulevard came to that party. You know what I'm saying? If you lived and you still know about that party, because it was epic. It was one of the most epic parties of our generation. Like, I mean, helicopters came, everybody came. You're talking about 300 kids came. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Like, what the hell? All because we threw a party, Rio. We threw, and because we went to so many schools, like junior high schools and elementary schools, a lot of the people we grew up with were all going to these different schools. So I had Chatsworth, Birmingham, Taft, El Camino, Reseda, Canoga. You know what I'm saying? Niggas was coming from Granada Hills. Bro, you're talking about epic. Like, this is like, if you're from the West Valley, everybody for almost 10 years of my life still knew about that party. Like, people talked about it. Growing up as in my 20s, people were still talking about it. If I run across somebody, like, you remember that party? That party was crazy. I would say, bro, 20 kegs, you know what I'm saying? It's all lined up.
Back when they used to do kegs, right? That's funny. That's funny.
Bro, when I'm talking about, we was doing it, the biggest speakers ever in an empty field lot. Now there's a house there. It was just a big-ass field grass lot with oak trees, and it was thumping.
So do you feel like, because the dancing crews, it was tricky because it was mixed in with a lot of like gang banging too, but the banging wasn't really banging like that. It was more like the people were from somewhere, but they were like the dancers from the, kind of thing. What do you think about that?
Well, you had two sets of dance crews. Okay, well, the dance crew idea never really stopped. The whole point of dance crews were extensions like gangs. They were brotherhoods and families, like Venice Shoreline. People don't realize the story behind Venice Shoreline Crips was about breakdancers. They were breakdancers. That's what happened. The Playboy Crips, Venice Shoreline Crips were breakdancers, and that's how the beef started. Was over a battle.
Oh, like dancing battle.
It was a battle that happened.
Wow.
Yes, that's what really happened. It was a battle, and this happened in the early 80s. So people don't get, like, so the 80s, I'm talking about, like, the dance crews in my sister's time, because we were younger. I got to see all her friends throw some of the biggest, dopest parties, and that got me the idea to want to throw parties when I got into high school, because they had a crew called Bozak Crew, and Yo Mama Presents. And this is when they used to throw flyers with graffiti art on her and pass them out everywhere. And this is before, like, they were slapping stickers, before people were doing, the stuff that they do like, for billboards, for premieres now. They go and slap stickers everywhere. That's what Jinko jeans came out. All these did, but that came in progressing like early 94. But 1990s, 91, 92, we had black crews. More than ever, it was black crews that were into hip-hop. So if you watched, like Russell said, it was a roll-off from the black and brown community. It was like
that was when they black and brown people more or less got along without the gang banging killing thing. You know what I'm saying? It was more like a
Like, gangbanging was still there, but they left the dancing alone. Like, the dancing wasn't as integrated as hard because people who didn't go into gangs went to dance crews.
Okay.
And that was the safest part. Or they went into graffiti crews. So whoever didn't go into a gang, and some of the gang guys were dancers, so it was kind of hard, but people made it fun. And in LA was already blowing up. Their fights, people were doing shootouts already at early age. So the Valley was a safer bet. So a lot of black kids and the brown kids would come up to the Valley, especially the brothers would come up to the Valley because they had family up there. And dude, I'm telling you, like, if I could just take a video, if I wish I had a video of what we used to do at the park, you'd be like, how come we don't do that today? People pulling out grills, feeding kids. They were feeding people, strangers, bro, bringing full-on barbecue setups, feeding whoever came for free. And then you just had music for free pumping. It wasn't you had to pay for it. It wasn't nothing, bro. They would just set up at parks all over and just set up and just blast music, bro. And everybody was reggae dancing. That's how I learned how to dance, bro. Like, really, like, people was reggae dancing and break dancing was like, dude, this was the movement, because break dancing was really early 80s, but towards the end, like 89, 90s is when dance hall really took effect in the Valley, in LA. Dance hall, reggae, Saba Ranks and all this stuff was really pumping though. You know? Right,
so, but as far as the dance crews, it switched to a transition after a while, right? It kind of transitioned to something else.
So by the 94s, it became more of, it went from the breakdancers, hardcore housers. It was called house, not house music like they do today, like the deep house. It was housing.
No, you're right. I remember that. I do remember that.
It was called housers. So the brothers would wear baggy clothes. And the only thing I can show you that you can actually see videos of is like Def Comedy Jam, because those were black, those were the brown housers. Brothers was doing spins on their feet and stuff like that,
right.
And they would dance with baggy clothes on, doing like, before hyphy and all that got big, that's what house was, bro, and you would do it. And then it transitioned because the gangs started getting thicker, and when I say thicker, meaning started growing more and more in the Valley from non-violent gangs, because a lot of the gangs in the Valley, people don't realize, were non-violent. They used to play football fights, like San Fernando, Canoga Park, all these static gangs. They would have football tournaments, and then the brothers would shoot out, you know, at South Park. So we had a lot of controversy going on, and we still had a lot of white supremacist gangs too that trickled from LA.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Now hold that thought. So that was the thing, though, because there was a lot of that right there, you know, especially in the Valley. There was there was a lot of, you know, you got the skinheads, you got not to switch gears,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
So how did they transition in? How did they transition in, or were they in, or how did that go?
So they were always there. So they had YBR, you had other gangs that were coming out, that were been out, that were all like white transition gangs. Like, they were white gangs, and they kind of didn't like the blacks. You know what I'm saying? But we blacks already had all the other issue gangs, so we already had other issues with people. But let's say, just fast forward, like when I started high school, my 9th grade year, we got chased down going home from West Hills, because not that many blacks live in West Hills. Like, remember, West Hills still in the Valley, but we're at the far side of the Valley now. And so we went from 90, early 90s, late 80s into the suburban area. But then we got to West Hills. We went from Winnetka into West Hills. When we got to West Hills in 94, bro, it was like, this is still the Valley. This is like nice living, but it was racist still in 1994, bro, 95. Like,
it was like American History X. I know.
Yeah. I think so. One of my good friends named Bilal and Sharif Hassan. These guys are, you know, brothers, like very prominent family. They live in our block in Winnetka, and we moved to West Hills. They went that far, and then one of their good friends, I remember, we used to go hiking behind our house in the mountains right there in the hills, and there would be swastikas and all this lightning bolts. And then one of the dudes got picked up and beat up. They took him up there. There was a place up there, a little ledge where they parked their cars, and they would take blacks up there and beat them up. And they even lost Hills. If you went even further past Valley Circle into Calabasas, even more racist. Like, that's when they was killing blacks. They were killing black people, young kids that were walking into Lost Hills by themselves. That's when that girl in 1998 got killed. Still, after all this, by a racist cop. So you got to understand, like, it's trickled in, bro. All the Hells Angels and bikers and all that stuff was still thick right there in Valley Circle. It wasn't like it is today. Valley Circle now is different. It's a whole different ballgame.
Well, they still got that clubhouse over there. They, you know, near Box County.
No,
they still, you know.
Yeah, but it's not as racist. Like, I mean, literally, bro.
I know what you're saying. Okay.
Kids, we're young.
Okay.
We're 14 years old, bro. We got nothing to do with none of that. Trying to play football after school for high school. You know, we're in JD team and we're walking with our pads and everything. And you got white boys jumping out of the car, bro, chasing us, like literally trying to hit us off the road. The first time I ever had to affect me and my brothers one day, we were like, what just happened? Like, we've been chased with different people. I mean, I got like knives pulled out on me. They were living in Lamecca. You know, we had gangs, the Asian boys back in '88 started really kicking big in 1988, 89, like 92, 93. Asian boys were all over the valley.
But now you actually had the skills and the mindset, because you still were able to function with some of these racist white boys. Like, you were still able to function. You know what I mean? Because I was too. That's why many people didn't have those skills to where you're the guy they'll talk to.
Okay.
You know, or you're the guy, you know, type of thing. So explain that a little bit.
Okay, so look, remember I told you I was born in tune to the world early? Well, when you're born in tune,
You have 60 seconds remaining.
when you have the ability to adapt, you have an ability, a need to understand people, understand their surroundings better, you can survive. So I'm like a chameleon when it comes to that. Knowing that we were light-skinned, knowing that I was different,
Right.
I took the opportunity when my brothers started hanging out with more Latinos, I hung out with the white boys. Because I knew where money was. I knew where safety was. If that was just money, fuck the money. Money was going to come.
Right.
I knew what the safety was.
Right.
You guys want to go this way, and I'm going to go this way. And I always tell my brothers, whatever you do, I'm going to do the opposite so I can save you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you guys want to go do, I'm gonna do this so I could level this out. You know, they wanted to go into the gangs. I wanted to become a sheriff, a higher patrol. You know, I wanted to, like, man, I'm gonna save my family. You know, that was my goal. I wanted to save my family.
Well, that didn't work out well.
My uncles and everybody did.
That didn't work out well, but
it didn't work out.